Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to talk about the Kingdom Plantae. Okay, so the Kingdom Plantae, okay, it basically consists of the multicellular eukaryotic photosynthetic organisms. Okay, and these are commonly known as plants. Okay, so let's start the video, and first of all we will talk about the general characteristics of Kingdom Plantae. Okay, so first we will talk about the cell structure. Okay, so if we talk about the cell structure of the Kingdom Plantae species, it will exhibit the eukaryotic cell, okay, and the cell wall is, okay, so this is eukaryotic. It means that it has well-defined nucleus, okay, and the cell wall, okay, the cell wall is made up of cellulose, okay, so cellulosic cell wall, okay, and these are autotrophic also. I will write it from this color. Autotrophic means they can prepare their own food, and how they can prepare their own food? Through the process of the photosynthesis, because they have the chloroplast. Okay, so the chloroplast is responsible for making them autotrophs basically. Okay, and in addition to that, it has the large central vacuole. Okay, so there is a central vacuole, and what is the role of this central vacuole? The central vacuole, it will help to store water and the nutrients. Okay, now let's talk about the second characteristic, and that is the mode of nutrition. Okay, so I already told you that these are plants are photosynthetic. Okay, it means they are autotrophs, they can prepare their own food. Okay, but there are few species that are also heterotrophic. Okay, heterotrophic means they will derive from their nutrition from other species or the dead decaying material. Okay, so the example of the heterotroph is the cuscuta. Okay, it's a paraparasitic plant. Okay, then we will talk about the body structure. So students, the plants, they are sessile. Okay, sessile means they cannot move because they are fixed to the soil. Okay, through the roots. Okay, so they lack the locomotory organ and they lack the locomotion also. Okay, so no locomotion. The fourth characteristics about the Kingdom Plantae species is we'll talk about is the reproduction. Okay, so both the kind of reproduction, okay, it is occurring. So student, what are the two kind of reproduction? First is the sexual reproduction and the other is the asexual reproduction. So in case of plant, okay, they can reproduce sexually via the seeds or the spore, or asexually via the vegetative propagation. Okay, there are other methods also. Okay, and if we talk about the last characteristic, I will write it from the red only so that in the other section it is more clear to you. And if we talk about the habitat, so habitat is, we know the natural place where they are occurring naturally. Okay, so they can be found in vast variety of the habitats. Okay, so they can be terrestrial, it means they can be found on the land. The Kingdom's Plantae species, they can be aquatic. Okay, they can be found in the water also. Okay, and they can be epiphytic also. Okay, epiphytic means those that are growing on the other plant species. So terrestrial, we all know the example is trees or herbs. Okay, you can say any tree like mango tree. Okay, aquatic is algae. Okay, it will grow in the water also. And epiphytic, like it can grow on the other plants also, like I told you the example is the cuscuta. Okay, so this is all about the general characteristic of the plant kingdom species. Now quickly let's talk about the 5 classes. Okay, so the Kingdom Plantae species, they are characterized into the 5 classes. The first one is the algae. Okay, we will write first all the classes so that it is easier for you to remember. Okay, no need to separately remember, just learn now. that the Kingdom Plantae species, okay, they are classified into 5 classes. Okay, so first is algae, then there is a bryophytes. Okay, the third one is the pteridophytes, gymnosperm, fourth one, and the angiosperms. Okay. Okay, student, you got it. The Kingdom Plantae, it is classified into 5 types. For the first is algae, the second is bryophyte, the third is the pteridophyte, the fourth is the gymnosperm, and the fifth is the angiosperm. So now let's talk about them one by one. So the algae, it's a simple. Okay, it is unicellular or multicellular. Okay, I will write it from some light, maybe red color. Okay, it's simple, unicellular, or it can be multicellular also. Okay. And I already told you that we can find the algae. Where we can find the algae? It is aquatic. So usually this species of Kingdom Plantae, okay, this is found in the space or habitat where there is a water. Okay, so example, I already told you the algae that is growing commonly. Okay, then there is Spirogyra also. So if somebody ask you, just give the name of any algae, then you have to write the Spirogyra. Okay, now the second one is the bryophytes. Okay, so students, remember the bryophytes, they are also known as amphibians of the plant. So amphibian, we all know, these are those animal species, if we are talking about the animals, that can live in the water also, and it can live in the land also. And the example in case of animal is the frog. So in plant kingdom, okay, so the bryophytes, they are known as the amphibian of plant kingdoms. Okay, and what are the characteristics of the bryophytes? They are non-vascular. Okay, so in general the plants are the vascular, most of the plants, they are vascular plants. It means they have the presence of vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem, and these are conducting tissue, and it helps the plant to uptake and distribute the water and the nutrients. Okay, so the bryophytes are usually non-vascular. Okay, and they lack the true leaves. Okay, true plant part, we can say. So they lack true plant part. So we all know what are the plant parts. I have made a separate video also, you can just find it in my playlist. Okay, so the example here is mosses, okay, and liverworts. Okay, so these are the two example of the bryophytes. You got my point, student? The next we'll talk about is the pteridophytes. Okay, so pteridophytes, these are the first, we can say, first vascular plant. So up till algae and bryophyte, they do not have clear-cut plant organ, but and vessels. But the pteridophyte, they have the vessels. Okay, so they are the first vascular plants. Okay, and they will have the true roots. Okay, true stem. Okay, so true plant organs they have. Okay, and these will reproduce via spores. Okay, the pteridophytes. So they will reproduce through spores. It means through the sexual reproduction. Okay, and the example here is fern. Okay, Selaginella. Now if we talk about the gymnosperm, so these are the naked sea plant. Okay, so mostly the tree species, they are the gymnosperm. Okay, and what do you mean by the naked seed plant? It means that seed, they are not enclosed in the fruit. Okay, so no fruit. Usually whenever we see a seed in the angiospermic plants, it is coated with the fruit. Like if we are eating the mango, then we see the mango, we will eat the pulp, right? And inside the pulp, then there is a seed. So that basically fruit is responsible both for the protection of the seed also, and it will provide the nourishment also. Okay, but gymnosperm, they lacks the fruit. Okay, the seeds are naked. So example is the cycas. or pine tree. Okay, pine tree is very common, so most of us we know what is pine tree, right? So next we'll talk about the angiosperm. So angiosperms, they are, in simple language, they are flowering plants. Okay, and I told you that they have the seeds, okay, and that is enclosed in the fruit, so they have the fruits also. Okay, and this angiosperm, they are further divided into two types. Okay, one is the monocot and the other is the dicot. Okay, so the name itself indicate the monocot will have the single cotyledon. Okay, example wheat and rice, and the dicotyledon, it is, they are having the two cotyledon. Okay, example mango, sunflower, chickpea, etc. Okay, now let's talk about the life cycle. Okay, so the Kingdom Plantae species, they will display the three types of life cycle. The first one is the haplodiplontic. Okay, haplodiplontic life cycle. Okay, so in this life cycle, what will happen, there is alteration of generation, okay, between the haploid gametophyte and the diploid sporophytes. Okay, so there is an alteration between haploid, the name itself indicate, right, haplo means haploid, gametophyte, the gametophyte is haploid, okay, and diploid sporophyte. Okay, so this type of life cycle, it is, we can see it in the pteridophytes. Okay, pteridophytes, and the amphibian of the plant kingdom, that is the bryophytes. Okay, so this kind of life cycle is shown by these species. Now the next kind of life cycle is the haplotic. Okay, so in the haplotic uh, kind of life cycle, there is dominance of the gametophytic stage. Okay, so they will display the dominance of gametophytic stage, and where we can see this life cycle, we can see this life cycle, okay, in algae. Okay, and the third kind of life cycle is the diplontic. Okay, so while in the haplotic, okay, we will see there is a dominance of the gametophytic stage, whereas in the diplontic one, there is a dominance of sporophytic stage. Okay, and which species will show this kind of diplontic life cycle? All the gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, gymnosperms are tree species with a trunk, okay, and the naked fruits, naked seeds, and the angiosperms are the flowering plants. Okay, so they will display the diplontic life cycle. Okay, I hope it is clearly visible to you. Okay, now just quickly talk about, we know the, like, there are n number of the ecological or economical importance of the plant, but here we will write about only 4. Okay, so the first one is the, we will write just the very important one. The first one is the food. Okay, so the plant will provide us with the fruits like grains, fruits, and what else, the vegetables. Okay, so they will act as a source of our food. Okay, the next most important is the oxygen production. Okay, this we all know, if there is no oxygen, then there is no life. So they will maintain the plants will maintain earth's oxygen level. Okay, that's why, student, it's very important to have more and more plants. Okay, so we have to stop the deforestation and we have to plant more and more trees. Okay, then the medicinal use. So in several parts of the world, almost all of the, like all parts of the world, the plant species, they are used for their medicinal purpose. It means they are used for treating disease. Okay. Okay. And they are the plants, they are the part of both the traditional and the modern, okay, medicinal system. So they are like the example will include, we all know the neem. Okay, there is a neem. Curcumin we know. Okay, then there are other species like Taxol. Okay, Taxol is used for anti-cancer treatment. Okay, so this is also derived from the plants. Okay, and last but not the least, that the trees or the plants, it will also provide us with the raw material. So raw material for what? So it will provide us the raw material like wood. Okay, it will provide us fiber, etc. Okay, so these are very useful contribution of, or the uses of Kingdom Plantae in our human life. Okay, so this is all in this video. Okay, so you can also develop a quick, like one page, this kind of concept map to remember the important points about the Kingdom Plantae. Thank you for watching the video.